Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. Today we have a man. I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Jenga Njeru. So you can follow Jenga Njeru on Facebook and you'll be getting these updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is not here for the very first time. At the age of 72, you could be asking yourself why he is single and searching. And if you can remember Bwana Isaac comes from Uganda. And Uganda is where he comes from, but he lives in the US. And I had brought his story on the show because he was single and searching. He was looking for a wife. And most people don't understand that loneliness is real. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter who you are. Loneliness is real. I brought him on the show. He said that he had not been married and he wanted to get married for the very first time. You remember his story? Yes, I think early last year. Tukianza mwaka 2023. And I don't know what catches people. I don't know what kind of fever catches people to a point that when I post you start talking to people, and the moment you start talking to them, I don't know whether you lose interest or you get talking to somebody else and they disappoint you along the way, you abort the mission. That is exactly what happens with some people. Because I brought him on the show, he started communicating with some women, exchanged phone numbers because I had posted his email address. Okay? And after I posted him, I asked him for progress, and the people who asked for his contact, we shared. After that, he went silent. We tried to reach out to him, he went silent. Okay? And he said that he wanted to relocate to Kenya or Uganda, those two countries. You heard his story. But again, it reached a point that he went mute. We couldn't reach him. And you know the policy of my team. We don't follow up if somebody doesn't want to talk. Because somebody might end up thinking, maybe Team Jenga wants to be paid. Maybe Team Jenga wants to be compensated or to get some money. No. Sometimes when we are reaching out, my team wants to know. And I don't even reach out in person. My team, either Liz, Tony, or Alice will reach out. And they just want to know whether you got matched, whether you successfully got matched. And that one only happens under the circumstances that people have been asking for you overwhelmingly. You see, there's a video we can do today, and that video will go viral after 3 weeks or even after 2 months. Maybe the person has not been matched. If that person has not been matched and people have been asking for him in an overwhelming manner, what do? We are just left out to follow up and know whether you have been matched. And once you've been matched, you have confirmed, we go ahead to tell people that you've been matched. Are we together? But if somebody doesn't want to talk, we cannot force. Okay? Because you brought yourself here. We did not bring you here. Are we together to that point? So Mr. Isaac is back again. He was 71 last year. Today he's 72. Next year he will be 73. So if he crosses the year, those will be 2 years on the show without having a match. What kind of a woman is he looking for? Number one, he is looking for a woman who is not really religious, but a woman who has some good home training, a woman who has some nice morals. Okay, the reason why you're hearing that beep sound is because I have opened the vehicle's door. The temperatures in the vehicle are extremely high, and the camera is reacting. You hear the difference. If it gives me an alert again, I am going to open. So don't mind the beep sound. I hope I'm audible enough. So Bwana Isaac is looking for a wife who is either Kenyan or Ugandan, and that wife should be ready to go back home. If she's in the US, she should be ready to relocate because he's actually selling his house. One of the flexes you can have in the US is to buy a house, a home. Once you buy a home in the US, selling it is so easy. One of the places where people don't find difficulties in selling properties is in the US, because you just list with a realtor. It's listed. People who renovate houses, people who renovate homes can buy, or you can just sell to somebody. So selling property is actually not a problem. Okay, even people do asset financing, and it's actually not a problem there. However, back in Kenya, you can struggle when you're trying to sell your especially built house, because maybe the design does not. Here we build different designs, and maybe your design might not be very appealing to the other person. Okay, and things like that. And not everybody can access services like asset financing. So not everybody can be able to asset finance. You getting the point? If not everybody can be able to asset finance, that means buying a property, maybe 10 million in cash, 100 million in cash, 20 million in cash, becomes a little bit of a problem. Mr. Isaac is selling his property. He wants to relocate back in Africa because, remember, when I was doing his video, he wanted to retire. Now he has retired. What is he waiting for? To get married. I do not understand why he was not married. But he says that life can be very lonely. Even people we call on the show, they keep on telling you it is lonely. It's lonely to be single. Very, very lonely. You left asking yourself, if it is that lonely, then why should you be waiting for that long? And that's what I've been encouraging people. Okay, because you cannot say he has a history of an ex, he has a history of children, or things like that. He only is a single man who doesn't want to leave. He says right now it is a bit of pathetic. When you're working, remember at the age of 60, 70, when you're working, it's not as boring, because maybe you've given yourself a lot of time to go out there and work. You interact with people, maybe you're working many hours, but now again you have 24 hours for yourself, for the television, for the internet, alone, nothing to enjoy. Nobody, you have enjoyed almost everything. You have lived 7 decades. So you want somebody you can enjoy at least the rest of your life with. And of course, he wants to get an heir. An heir is somebody who can inherit your estate. And you see, heirs are people who are just born with privilege. Depending on where you are born, that is where you are going to inherit. If you are born in a rich family, you will inherit there. If you are born in not a rich family, then you also inherit there. So Bwana Isaac is going to be searching, and that woman should be between the ages of 50 and 65. 50 and 65. They can retire together. From where? From he's retiring from the US, either Kenya or Uganda. But do not forget, that woman should have only one kid, irrespective of whether the kid is a boy or a girl. That is very important that I mention. So it's good to listen to these videos, because once you listen, you're able to relate. Because he doesn't want, he has not been used to living with children, so he doesn't know how to behave around his own children. So he doesn't want to train himself to love people and accept people, many of them at the very same time. So we wish him well. We hope he gets a good wife, and his other name is Maleka, and I am hoping that he's going to get a good wife. Until then, this is Jenga Njeru. God bless you. Bye bye.